We will learn about bioenergetics. Here we will learn about oxidative phosphorylation, electron transport chain, NADH, NADPH, succinate Q, oxidoreductase, Q means ubiquinone. Like this we will study. Okay, let's start with oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylation is the metabolic pathway in which the mitochondria in cells use their structure, enzymes, and energy released by the oxidation of nutrients to reform ATP. Although the many forms of life on Earth use a range of different nutrients, ATP is the molecule that supplies energy to metabolism. Almost all aerobic organisms carry out oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylation began with the report in 1906 by Arthur Harden of a vital role for phosphate in cellular fermentation. But initially, only sugar phosphate were known to be involved. In 1940s, Hermann Kalkar worked on this between the oxidation of sugars and the regeneration of ATP was firmly established, confirming the central role of ATP in energy transfer that had been proposed by Fritz Albert Lippmann in 1941. Later, in 1949, Maurice Fredkin and Albert L. Leininger proved that the coenzyme NADH linked metabolic pathway such as citric acid cycle and the synthesis of ATP. This pathway is probably so pervasive because it is a highly efficient way of releasing energy compared to alternative fermentation processes such as anaerobic glycolysis. Let's know about electron transport chain. The electron transport chain is a process in which the NADH and FADH2 produced during glycolysis, beta oxidation, and other catabolic processes are oxidized, thus releasing energy in the form of ATP. The mechanism of which ATP is formed in ETC, that is electron transport chain, is called chemiosmotic phosphorylation. Okay, let's know about all the overview of this part. First is the electron transport chain ETC is present in multiple copies in the inner mitochondrial membrane of eukaryotes and plasma membrane of prokaryotes. Let's know about NADH, that is coenzyme ubiquinone oxidoreductase complex 1. Okay. An integral protein that receives electrons in the form of hydride ions from NADH and passes them on to ubiquinone. The reaction that is catalyzed by this enzyme, an integral protein that receives electrons in the form of hydride ions from NADH and passes them onto ubiquinone. The reaction that is catalyzed by this enzyme is the 2-electron oxidation of NADH by coenzyme Q10 or ubiquinone, a lipid-soluble quinone that is found in the mitochondrial membrane. NADH plus Q plus 5H plus matrix gives rise to NAD plus QH2 plus 4H plus intermembrane. The start of the reaction and indeed of the entire electron chain is the binding of a NADH molecule to complex 1 and the donation of 2 electrons. The electrons enter complex 1 via a prosthetic group attached to the complex flavin mononucleotide. The addition of electrons to FMN, that is flavin mononucleotide, converts it to its reduced to form FMNH2. The electrons are then transferred through a series of iron sulfur clusters. The second kind of prosthetic group present in the complex. There are both 2 Fe2s and 4 Fe4s iron sulfur cluster in complex 1. As the electrons pass through this complex, 4 photons are pumped from the matrix into the intermembrane space. Finally, electrons are transferred from the chain of iron sulfur clusters to a ubiquinone molecule in the membrane. Reduction of ubiquinone also contributes to the generation of a proton gradient, as 2 protons are taken off from the matrix as it is reduced to ubiquinone QH2. Succinate Q oxidoreductase, that is complex 2. Succinate ubiquinone oxidoreductase, aka succinate dehydrogenase from the TCA cycle. A peripheral protein that receives electrons from succinate. The electrons are received by FAD, a prosthetic group of protein, which then become FADH2. The electrons are then passed off to ubiquinone, also known as complex 2 or succinate dehydrogenase, is a second entry point to the electron transport chain. It is usually because it is the only enzyme that is part of both the citric acid cycle and electron transport chain. It oxidizes succinate to fumarate and reduces ubiquinone. As this reaction releases less energy than the oxidation of NADH, complex 2 does not transport protons across the membrane and does not contribute to the proton gradient. Succinate plus Q gives rise to fumarate plus QH2. In some eukaryotes such as the parasitic worm Ascaris scum, an enzyme similar to complex 2 fumarate reductase operates in reverse to oxidize ubiquinone and reduce fumarate. Q is ubiquinone or ubiquinol. Ubiquinone receives electrons from several different carriers, from 1 to glycerol 3-phosphate dehydrogenase and ETF. It is now the reduced form which passes its electron off to 3. Electron transfer flavoprotein ubiquinone reductase oxidoreductase, also known as electron transferring flavoprotein dehydrogenase, is a third entry point to the electron transport chain. It is an enzyme that accepts electrons from electron transferring flavoprotein in the mitochondrial matrix and uses these electrons to reduce ubiquinone. This enzyme contains a flavin and a 4Fe4S cluster. But unlike the other respiratory complexes, it attaches to the surface of the membrane and does not cross the lipid bilayer. ETF red plus Q gives rise to ETF-OX plus QH2. In mammals, this metabolic pathway is important in beta oxidation of fatty acids and catabolism of amino acids and choline, as it accepts electrons from multiple acetyl coenzyme A dehydrogenases. In plants, ETF-Q oxidoreductase is also important in the metabolic responses that allow survival in extended period of darkness. Q cytochrome C oxidoreductase, that is complex 3, an integral protein that receives electrons from ubiquinol, which are then passed on onto cytochrome C. The reaction catalyzed by complex 3 is the oxidation of one molecule of ubiquinol and the reduction of two molecules of cytochrome C, a heme protein loosely associated with the mitochondrion. Unlike coenzyme Q, which carries two electrons, cytochrome C carries only one electron. QH2 plus 2 cytochrome C Ax plus 2H plus matrix gives rise to Q plus 2 cytochrome C red plus 4H plus intermembrane. Cytochrome C oxidase, that is complex 4, an integral protein that receives electrons from cytochrome C and transfers them to oxygen to produce water within the mitochondria matrix. Cytochrome C oxidase, also known as complex 4, is the final protein complex in the electron transport chain. The mammalian enzyme has an extremely complicated structure that and contains 13 subunits, two heme groups as well as multiple metal ion cofactors in all 3 atoms of copper, 1 of magnesium and 1 of zinc. This enzyme mediates the final reaction in the electron transport chain and transfers electrons to oxygen, which is also called the terminal electron acceptor, is reduced to water in this step. Both the direct pumping of protons and the consumption of matrix protons in the reduction of oxygen contribute to the proton gradient. The reaction catalyzed is the oxidation of cytochrome C and reduction of oxygen. For cytochrome C red plus oxygen plus 8H plus matrix gives rise to 4 cytochrome C OX plus 2H2O plus 4H plus intermediate. ATP synthase, that is complex 5. An integral protein consisting of several different subunits, this protein is directly responsible for the production of ATP via chemosmotic phosphorylation. It uses the proton gradient created by several of the other carriers in the ETC electron transport chain to drive a mechanical rotor. The energy from that rotor is then used to phosphorylate ADP to ATP. ADP plus Pi plus 4H plus intermembrane reverse reaction ATP plus H2O plus 4H plus matrix. The portion embedded within the membrane is called F0 and contains a ring of C subunits and the proton channel. The stalk and the ball-shaped head pieces is called F1 and is the site of ATP synthesis. The ball-shaped complex at the end of the F1 portion contains 6 proteins of 2 different kinds, whereas the stalk consists of one protein, the gamma subunit with the tip of the stalk extending into the ball of alpha and beta subunits. Both the alpha and beta subunits bind nucleotides, but only the beta subunits catalyze the ATP synthesis reaction, reaching along the side of the F1 portion and back into the membrane is long rod-like subunit and anchors the alpha and beta subunits into the base of the enzyme. This ATP synthesis reaction is called the binding change mechanism and involves the active site of a beta subunit cycling between 3 states. In the open state, ADP and the phosphate enter the active site. The protein then closes up around the molecules and binds them loosely. The enzyme then changes shape again and forces these molecules together with the active site in the resulting tight state, binding the newly produced ATP molecule with very high affinity. Finally, the active site cycles back to the open state, releasing ATP and binding more ADP and phosphate, ready for the next cycle. In some bacteria and archaea, ATP synthesis is driven by the movement of sodium ions through the cell membrane rather than the movement of protons. Archaea such as Methanococcus also contain the A1A0 synthase, a form of the enzyme that contains additional protein with little similarity in sequence to other bacterial and eukaryotic ATP synthase subunits. Let's know about alternative reductases and oxidases. Many eukaryotic organisms have electron transport chains that differ from the much studied mammalian enzymes described till now. For example, plants have alternative NADH oxidases which oxidize NADH in the cytosol rather than the mitochondrial matrix and pass these electrons to the ubiquinone pool. These enzymes do not transport protons and therefore reduce ubiquinone without altering the electrochemical gradient across the inner membrane. Another example of a divergent electron transport chain is the alternative oxidase, which is found in plants as well as some fungi, protists, and possibly some animals. In enzyme transfers electrons directly from ubiquinone to oxygen. The advantage produced by certain pathway are not entirely clear. Let's know about prokaryotic electron transport chain. Ruko. The main difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic oxidative phosphorylation is that bacterial and archaea use many different substances to donate or accept electrons. This allows prokaryotes to grow under a wide variety. This allows prokaryotes to grow under a wide variety of environmental conditions. In E. coli, for example, oxidative phosphorylation can be driven by a large number of pairs to reducing agents and oxidizing agents, which are the oxidizing agents. The midpoint potential of a chemical measures how much energy is released when it is oxidized or reduced, with reducing agents having negative potentials and oxidizing agents positive potential. The midpoint potential of a chemical measures how much energy is released when it is oxidized or reducing agents having negative potentials and oxidizing agents positive potentials. Let's know about inhibitors. Several unknown drugs and toxins that inhibit oxidative phosphorylation. Although any one of these toxins inhibits only one enzyme in the electron transport chain, inhibition of any step in this process will halt the rest of the process. For example, if oligomycin inhibits ATP synthase, protons cannot pass back into the mitochondria. As a result, the proton pumps are unable to operate as the gradient becomes too strong for them to overcome. NADH is then no longer oxidized and the citric acid cycle ceases to operate because the concentration of NAD plus falls below the concentration that these enzymes can use. Let's know about compounds, its use, site of action, effect on oxidative phosphorylation. First compound is cyanide, carbon monoxide, azide, hydrogen sulfide. All these compounds are almost same. It is used as poisons. Complex site of action is complex IV, means 4. Effect on oxidative phosphorylation is it inhibits the electron transport chain by binding more strongly than oxygen to the FeCu center in cytochrome C oxidase, preventing the reduction of oxygen. Next compound is oligomycin. Its use is it is antibiotic complexes. 5. It inhibits ATP synthase by blocking the flow of protons through the F0 subunits. And then CCCP 2,4-dinitrophenol, that is its use is it is poison and weight loss. Its site of action is its inner membrane. Its action is in inner membrane, and its effects is iono ionophores that disrupt the proton gradient by carrying protons across the membrane. This ionophore uncouples proton pumping from ATP synthesis because it carries protons across the inner mitochondrial membrane. Next compound is rotenone. Rotenone. It's a pesticide. Complex is 1. Retinone is a pesticide. It's used as a pesticide, and its site of action is complex 1, and it prevents the transfer of electrons from complex 1 to ubiquinone by blocking the ubiquinone binding site. Next compound is malonate andoxaloacetate. It is also poison. It is a poison. It's used as poisons, and complex 2, and its effect is competitive inhibitors of succinate dehydrogenase complex 2. And next compound is antimycin A. It is also used as a pesticide. Complex 3 bind to QI site of cytochrome C reductase, thereby inhibiting the oxidation of ubiquinol. Let's know about coupled reaction. Energy coupling in mechanical and chemical processes. First point is the downward motion of an object releases potential energy that can do mechanical work. The potential energy made available by spontaneous downward motion, an exergonic process, that is pink in color, can be coupled to the endergonic upward movement of another object, that is blue in color. Second point is in reaction 1, the formation of glucose 6-phosphate from glucose and inorganic phosphate Pi yields a product of higher energy than the two reactants. For this endergonic reaction, Dg is positive. In reaction 2, the exergonic breakdown of adenosine triphosphate, that is ATP, can drive an endergonic reaction when the two reactions are coupled. A smaller positive change, delta G1, the third reaction accomplishes the sum of reaction 1 and 2, and the free energy change, AGS, is the arithmetic sum of delta G1 and delta G2. Because the delta G3 is negative, the overall reaction is exergonic and proceeds spontaneously. Reaction 1, condensation of glucose with inorganic phosphate ion to make glucose 6-phosphate. Glucose plus Pi, reverse reaction, glucose 6-phosphate plus H2O. Reaction 2 is hydrolysis of ATP, a phosphoanhydride to generate ADP and inorganic phosphate, ATP plus H2O, reverse reaction ADP plus Pi. To couple the two reactions, add reactants on left, add products on right, and add delta G degree G0 values to get delta G0 for coupled reactions. That is glucose plus ATP, reverse reaction, glucose 6-phosphate plus ATP. Group transfer. The transfer of acyl, glucosyl and phosphoryl groups from one nucleophile to another is common in living cells. Acyl group transfer generally involves the addition of a nucleophile to the carbonyl carbon of an acyl group to form a tetrahedral intermediate. Phosphoryl group transfers play a special role in metabolic pathways. A general theme in metabolism is the attachment of a good living group to a metabolic intermediate to activate the intermediate for the subsequent reaction. Among the better living groups in nucleophilic substitution reactions are inorganic orthophosphate. Phosphoryl group transfers play a special role in metabolic pathways. A general theme in metabolism is the attachment of a good living group to a metabolic intermediate to activate the intermediate for subsequent reaction. Among the better living groups in nucleophilic substitution reactions are inorganic orthophosphate and inorganic phosphate. Esters and anhydrides of phosphoric acid are effectively activated for reaction. Nucleophilic substitution is made more favorable by the attachment of a phosphoryl group to an otherwise poor living group such as OOH. Nucleophilic substitutions in which the phosphoryl group serves as a living group occur in hundreds of metabolic reactions. The large families of enzymes that catalyze phosphoryl group transfers into ATP as donor is called kinases. Hexokinases moves a phosphoryl group from ATP to glucose. Biological energy transducers. Let's know about biological energy transducers. Cells contain a variety of molecular transducers which convert the energy to electron flow into useful work. Living cells have an analogous biological circuit with a relatively reduced compound such as glucose as the source of electrons. As glucose is enzymatically oxidized, the released electrons flow spontaneously through a series of electron carriers intermediates to another chemical species such as oxygen. This electron flow is exergonic because oxygen has a higher affinity for electrons than do the electron carriers intermediates. The resulting electromotive force provides to a variety of molecular energy transducers that do biological work. In the mitochondrion, for example, membrane-bound enzymes couple electron flow for the production of a transmembrane pH difference, accomplishing osmotic and electrical work. The proton gradient thus formed as has potential energy, sometimes called the proton motive force by analogy with electromotive force. Another enzyme, ATP synthase, in the inner mitochondrial membrane uses the proton motive force to do chemical work. Synthesis of ATP from ADP and pi as protons flow spontaneously across the membrane. Similarly, membrane localized enzymes in E. coli convert electromotive force to proton motive force, which is then used to power flagella motion. The principles of electrochemistry that govern energy changes in the macroscopic circuit with a motor and battery apply with equal validity to the molecular processes accompanying electron flow in living cells, NADH and NADPH. It acts with dehydrogenases as soluble electron carriers. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide NAD plus in its oxidized form and its close analog nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, that is NADP plus, are composed of two nucleotide nicotinamide of two nucleotides joined through their phosphate groups by a phosphoanhydride bond. Because the nicotinamide ring resembles pyridine, these compounds are sometimes called pyridine nucleotides. The vitamin niacin is the source of the nicotinamide moiety in nicotinamide nucleotides. Both the coenzymes undergo reversible reduction of the nicotinamide ring. More than 200 enzymes are known to catalyze reactions in which NAD plus accepts a hydride ion from a reduced substrate NADP plus DPH donates a hydride ion to one oxidized substrate. Flavin nucleotides bound in flavoproteins. Let's know about flavin nucleotides bound in flavoproteins. Flavoproteins are enzymes that catalyze oxidation reduction reactions using either flavin mononucleotide FMN or flavin adenine dinucleotide FAD as coenzyme. These coenzymes, the flavin nucleotides are derived from the vitamin riboflavin. The flavin nucleotide is most flavoproteins is bound rather tightly to the protein, and in some enzymes such as succinate dehydrogenase, it is bound covalently. Such tightly bound coenzymes are properly called prosthetic groups. They do not transfer electrons by diffusing from one enzyme to another. Rather, they provide a means by which the flavoproteins can temporarily hold electrons while it catalyzes electron transfer from a reduced substrate to one electron acceptor. Thank you.